Hello, good evening, and welcome to the much anticipated Jacko Car Season 3 tier announcement. This one's going to be a little bit different to previous announcements. One, because of the fact I'm joined by the young Khalifa. Hello, how are we?
I'm doing good, Jacko. I can't wait to share the teams.
Yeah, they're looking good. And number two, because we have a second tier for the first time ever. So without further ado, let's get straight into the reserves. A little bit different this season because we've got the 7 reserves on screen that you can see. And also, if one of those is not available or any of those are not available, we can put a Cup driver into a Kia Series race or a Kia Series driver into the Cup Series and so on and so forth. So in theory, we should always have 100% attendance. That's the goal. But introducing the reserve drivers for you, we have the current VSL champion, that is Matt Bode in the 88, one of our reserve commentators, Luke Etheridge in the 54, a new boy, Kieran Spires in the 25, Nils from Holland in the 84, he's a new guy as well as Ahmed, also new in the 41, and the other two drivers here, they're new to Jacko Car, Thomas Nevitt in the 87, and Liam Roberts in the 94 car. So that's the reserves, but technically we've got 47 reserves, so we're not too worried about that. Khalifa, over to you with the team captains and the teams for the Kia Series.
Yes, obviously, because there hasn't been a previous season of Kia Series, I've kind of had to pick captains based on pace, how I think they do as team leaders, obviously, and I think we've got a good group here. We've got first captain Connor Byers, second captain Christian Hataro, also known as ST got Mike Kelterbone, Yuri, and yourself, Jack. You guys are the 5 captains. Yeah, what do you think?
Well, it's a good-looking bunch of blokes, I know that much. Four of those guys are very fast, put it that way. Yeah, we won't talk about the other one. Go on, I'll let you do the teams.
Okay, so going on to team 1, we've got Connor Byers, Jamie Bromley, Chris Morris, and newcomer Kia Langston. Team 2, we've got Christian Hataro, Curtis Frost, Billy Watts, Waze Kuba. For team 3, we've got Mike Kelterbone, Victor Souza, Matt Tree, and Jessica Ball. For team 4, we have Yuri, Matt Rosamond, Daniel Alexander, and Rick Menzies. And finally, team 5, we've got Jack Ricketts, John Gurr, Barry Baldwin, and the man himself, Jack Gooding. What do you think of that lineup, Jacko?
First of all, that huge signing in the in Jack Gooding, that's massive, isn't it? After ILR dissolved, I don't think a lot of people were expected to ever see him again, but he's returned, and I think not having to run a league anymore, I think he will enjoy just turning up and racing. But I think for the league, it's massive. Well, that's a big name. It's a huge name.
I was surprised when he told me he actually signed up, because obviously, as you mentioned, with all the running of ILR, I thought he was done with league racing. But it's great to have him back. He'll be a fun runner.
Yeah, for sure. Also, we've got the return of, let me just quickly count these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these drivers have been reserves for at least a season. Some of them for 2 seasons. So you got Matt and Jess, who were full time in season 1. They've come back to full time. I think they're excited to get going in this league, and they're much improved as well, much faster drivers than what they were back in the day. So be excited to see what they can do now, and the teams all in general. I can't pick a clear winner. I mean, I'm initially drawn to Connor, Chris, and Jamie. Of course, those 3 were in Cup Series last season, and the addition of Kaya as well. I'm initially drawn to them as the fastest team, but then you look all around the board. There's a lot of fast drivers there. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park to win this championship.
Yeah, we also got obviously Christian, also known as ST Mats. He'll be a front runner for the drivers' championship, I think. He's absolutely rapid.
And Waze Kuba, not necessarily a championship contender. Some say he's still downloading the game, but we'll find out on February 9th when we get going with this tier. But yeah, it's looking good. Hopefully the Kia boys can do us well for this new tier for Jacko car. Yeah, so in Cup, the 5 team leaders from the previous season, these are the guys with the most points within their team, not necessarily the top 5 in the championship. They are the ones who get to pick their teammates for the upcoming season in a draft format. So that was reverse championship order, and then ascending championship order, and then a random pick. So there was 3 rounds of the draft and an open pool of 15 drivers for these guys to pick. They are the Season 1 champion Pete Knighton in the 21, Jordan Lane in the 93, Cameron Blair in the 2 car, Kyle Smith, who of course lost the championship with a speeding in the pit lane penalty in the 47 car, and the outright Season 2 champion Jamie Wright in the 19 car. So onto the teams. Team 1, what will probably be called Team Speed. You got Pete in the 21, Arnaud in the 14, Risky Racer Sullivan Lewis in the 37, and Ben Shaw or Iceman in the 29 car. At Team 2, we have Jordan in the 93, Klaus Christensen in the 76, the only American driver Cam Walker in the 42, and 2-time Cup Series race winner Thomas Stulens in the 28 car. Moving on to Team 3, we have Cameron Blair, obviously, in the 2 car, the returning Khalifa in the 34, Riley Byes, the most recent race winner in the 27 car, and newcomer Sam Anderson or Flexi, he's in the 96 car. At Team 4, we've got Kyle Smith in the 47, last season's favourite to win the title up until the end of round 1. Paul McGuinness, he is in the 91 car, OKK in the 97, and his friend Jake O'Sullivan in the 40. Team 5, we see the champion Jamie Wright. He is joined by Corey Dalton, obviously in the 69 car. What else? Along with those, we have the 2 newcomers of Matt Redmore in the 80 and Brandon Wilson in the 82 car. So there we go. The Cup Series lineup for Season 3. What do we think, Khalifa? Good looking lineup. Very fast, and I think a lot closer than previous seasons.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have more work cut out for me. This isn't going to be an easy season for anyone.
No, not at all. I think off air we've alluded to Corey being the man on paper as favourite. But we know Corey's temperament. His head sometimes, or quite often I should say, goes. So I think that opens the door for a lot of drivers to win races and for anybody to win the championship.
And we also know, just being quick on paper isn't everything in Jacko car. Obviously last season, Kyle absolutely dominated the regular season. And after a few mishaps in the playoffs, actually had a pretty decent race in the Championship 5, which was all ruined by a 5-second penalty.
Straight into the pits, they're all straight into the pits, like I said. And Khalifa will lead the race then. Kyle speeds into the pit lane. Wow.
And myself, obviously in Season 1, could argue lost my head, got damaged a couple times, which ruined my race.
Racing in China, and it looks like a good start from Pete. Can he keep the lead into turn 1? Looks like Khalifa's also had a pretty good start. He's up to second already. On the inside, there's a collision. They're going to spin.
At all, I'm not too sure if he has got wing damage, but Knighton is sprinting off into the
He's got
distance
damage
with
down
Splinter
there.
second, and TC third, and Khalifa does have damage, and things not looking good for one of the championship favourites, if not the favourite for it.
A few of these guys, names that you'll know, some that you won't. Just can't wait to get going. And in fact, to add to that, the Cup Series gets going on the 14th of January in Australia for 17 rounds. And the Kia Series gets going on the 9th of February for 13 rounds.
Before we leave everyone, Jacko, If you had to pick
Go
one
on.
team to win the championship, which one would it be?
Jamie Wright's team.
Yeah, they're looking
Yeah.
very strong. Also, Matt and Brandon from the F2 series also participate in the charity race, where Matt got a podium and Brandon arguably bottled the podium, spinning. After his very start.
Brandon's at the wall. Brandon's gone. That's the conditions for you.
Yeah, and of course Brandon finished second to Matt Bode in the most recent VSL championship that's happened. So that took some doing just to finish second. So I think that team got a lot of pace there. So I'm excited to see that one.
I'll be hoping we'll be able to compete with them, but it's still early days.
That's been myself and Khalifa with the long-awaited tier announcement. I hope you've all enjoyed it, and we'll see you on track in 2021. Goodbye.